He's got a what? Eli opened his eyes slowly. His head was spinning. The room was strange round walls, glowing blue lights, and no windows. The air smelled like burned plastic and something sweet, like alien fruit. He sat up. His bed was too soft, like jelly. The blanket moved a little, as if it was breathing. "Where am I?" Eli said to himself. He looked down. He was wearing only some thin, silver shorts. His legs were cold. He tried to stand up, but the floor was sticky. Every step made a wet sound, like walking on jellyfish. Suddenly, dash bang. The door flew open. A tall, scaly alien woman stood in the doorway. Her skin was purple and gold. Her forearms were holding tools, a scanner, and a glowing red stick. She looked angry. "Very angry human," she shouted. "Why do you have a mini shai-hulad between your legs?" Eli blinked. "A what?" The alien walked in fast. She pointed the scanner at his waist. Beep, 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 boom. The scanner turned red and started flashing. The alien gasped. "It's true. It's inside you." Wait, hold on," Eli said. "I don't know what you're talking about. I just woke up here. I don't even know your name." "Am Veltana," she said. "Your landlady?" "This is my rental room. You rented it 3 moon cycles ago." "What? I never rented anything. I was on Earth yesterday." Eli shouted, "VE." Eltana looked confused for a second. Then she pulled up a hologram. Eli saw a video of himself signing a contract. His eyes were glowing in the video. He was smiling. "That's not me," he said. "Well, it looks like me, but I don't remember it." Veltana didn't care. She moved closer, pointing the red stick at his waist. "Stay still," she said. "I need to scan again. This is really a shai-hulad worm. We're all in danger." Eli backed away. "Worm between my legs. I think you're misunderstanding something." Just then, something moved inside his shorts. He jumped. "What was that?" he yelled. V.E. Eltana's eyes grew wide. "It's awake. It's reacting to stress." Eli pulled the blanket off the bed and wrapped himself in it. "I'm going to the doctor, or a human embassy, or a mental hospital." But Veltana blocked the door. "You don't understand. A mini shai-hulad is not a joke. It is a baby sandworm. Royal blood, extremely rare, extremely dangerous." "I'm not dangerous. I'm just a guy who works at a coffee shop." The scanner beeped again. This time, it spoke. "Host is human. Compatibility 99.9%. Status, bonded, removal, fatal." "Wait, removal what?" "Fatal," Veltana said slowly. "If we try to remove the worm, you die." Eli sat down. "Okay, I'm dreaming. This is a bad dream. I'll wake up soon, back on Earth. I'll be late for work and my boss will yell at me, and that's fine. That's normal." Suddenly, the wall turned into a screen. A new voice spoke. "Attention, unregistered worm host detected in Sector 9. All units respond." Veltana cursed in her own language. "The worm lords know. They're coming." "Who are the worm lords?" Eli asked. "They are the rulers of the sand worlds. They control the shai-hulad, but the royal worms bond only once in their lives, and it has chosen you." "Why me? I'm not special." Veltana stared at him. "You are human. That's already strange. Humans are rare here, but your DNA, maybe it's what the worm needed." Outside, sirens wailed. A ship flew past the window. "They've found you," Veltana said. "You must run." Eli stood up. "I don't even know where I am." Veltana threw him a jacket. "Then you better learn fast." He grabbed the jacket, wrapped it around his glowing shorts, and ran out the door. The street was full of aliens, tall ones, floating ones, walking mushrooms, and tiny robots. Everyone stared at him as he ran barefoot across the strange city behind him. A black hovercar landed. Doors opened. "Halt, human host," a deep voice boomed. "Surrender the royal worm." Asterix the worm was dreaming. It saw endless deserts, black suns, giant storms made of sand and sound. It remembered being part of something ancient, something powerful, then pain, cold, metal, then a human body, inside Eli's stomach. The baby Shihulad stirred. Meanwhile, Eli was hiding in a dumpster made of alien glass. It smelled like warm fish and melted batteries. His silver shorts were glowing again, which was not helping. Eli whispered to his own crotch, "Stop glowing. You're gonna get me killed." The worm inside didn't care. It was enjoying the fear. It liked adrenaline. It fed on it. Outside the dumpster, a hover patrol floated by. Scanned the sector. Human scent detected nearby. Orders: capture alive, or mostly alive. Eli held his breath. The scanner beam passed just inches from his hiding spot. One wrong move, and he'd be fried like a space pancake. Then, suddenly, pissed, human. A soft voice came from above. Eli looked up and saw a floating jellyfish with a single mechanical eye and a cigarette in one tentacle. "Name Zarn. You need extraction." "I need to wake up," Eli whispered. "This is all a nightmare." "Nope. This is real. And you're about to get melted if you stay in that trash box." A hook dropped from the jellyfish's floating body. Eli grabbed it. Zarn pulled him up onto a rooftop and hovered low. Zhao looked Eli up and down. "So you're the one carrying the royal worm?" "I didn't choose it," Eli said. "It just crawled inside me." "Yeah, well, now you're famous. The whole city's talking. Some say you're a chosen one. Others say you're a biological accident. Either way, you've got about 10 minutes to live, unless we move." Zarn tossed him a long cloak that smelled like oil and old socks. "Put that on. And stop glowing. I'm not doing it on purpose." Eli snapped. Zar floated down an alley. And Eli followed. They moved fast across neon bridges, through tunnels full of steam and alien graffiti. Zarn's body glowed gently in the dark. "Where are we going?" Eli asked. "Safe zone," Zarn said. "Old rebel hideout. They don't trust humans, but they hate the worm lords more." As they turned a corner, a group of alien kids pointed at Eli. "Look, look. He has the shiny worm. I heard it eats your brain. My uncle says he'll explode." "Great," Eli muttered. "I'm a walking rumor." Zarn stopped in front of a rusty door. He knocked 5 times. Slow, fast, slow, slow. A metal eye popped out. It scanned Eli. "Denied," said the robotic voice. "He's with me," Zarn said. Still denied. Zarn sighed and looked at Eli. "Show it." "Show what?" "You know what? The worm." "I am not showing that to a door." But the door started unlocking anyway. Eli's pants were glowing so bright it lit up the whole alley. The eye said, "Confirmed. Host accepted." Inside the hideout, everything looked old, broken tech, metal chairs, and rebel posters. A few aliens looked up. One of them, a lizard, with cybernetic arms, stared at Eli. "So this is the human worm boy. Name's Eli," he said. "I'm not a worm boy." "We'll see," the lizard said. "Let's test your bond." "Test." They brought out a small energy cube and placed it in front of Eli. "Focus," the lizard said. "Think of pushing it." Eli frowned. "With my mind? Yes. But really, with the worm inside." Eli looked at the cube. Nothing happened, then he got frustrated. "This is stupid. I don't even know what boom." The cube exploded. The whole room shook. Smoke rose from the floor. Everyone stared at him. Zarn whistled. Yep, he's the one. The lizard nodded. That worm inside you is not just royal. It's ancient. Ancient-like. Wise, Eli asked. No, Zarn said. Ancient like deadly. Suddenly, the radio crackled. This is Command Unit 9. Worm host located in Quadrant 6. Prepare containment squad. The rebel leader's eyes went wide. They've tracked you here. Zarn grabbed Eli's arm. Time to explain. If they catch you, they'll R.I.P. the worm outtanned you with it? Eli's heart raced. Where do we go? Zarn looked at him. You ever flown a sewer skimmer before? I used to ride a bicycle. Close enough. Let's go. The worm was learning not just about Aliba, about humans, their emotions, their instincts, their strange need to dance when nervous, and most confusing of all, their deep love for something called cheesy fries. Inside Eli's body, the mini Shai-Hulot had started to connect with his memories. It saw Earth. It saw a little boy Eli crying in a hospital, holding his mom's hand. It saw him studying late at night in a small apartment. It saw him give his last $10 to a hungry man on the street. The worm didn't understand kindness. Not yet. But it was watching. Meanwhile, Eli was flying a stolen sewer skimmer through underground tunnels. He screamed the whole way. This thing has no brakes. Use the slime. Zarn shouted. They skidded into a side tunnel and crashed through a metal gate. The skimmer flipped, bounced, and landed upside down. Zarn floated out, shaking slime off his tentacles. Not bad for your first time. Eli groaned. I think I broke my soul. Zarn scanned the tunnel. We're near Sector Del 14, old science lab, abandoned. But I know someone there. Eli raised an eyebrow. Another jellyfish. No. Worse, a nerd. They entered a dark, dusty lab. Machines blinked slowly, still alive after all these years. A voice echoed from the shadows. Well, Zarn the criminal, and a glowing human. A figure stepped forward, an alien with 6 eyes, a lab coat and goggles too big for his head. Zarn smirked. Eli, meet Dr. Fleck, former worm researcher. Got banned for testing worms on rich people. Fleck grinned. I never tested them. I just ... introduced them politely. He walked around Eli, scanning him with a strange stick. Oh yes, he said. This worm isn't just bonded to you, it's imprinted. Imprinted? Eli asked. It likes you. It's syncing with your nervous system. If it stays long enough, it becomes a part of your brain. What happens then? Eli asked. Fleck paused. Then, Eli, you stop being just human. You become something else. Fleck connected his scanner to a screen. Images popped up, ancient carvings, worm DNA, and a spiral code. ZAR leaned in. What is that? The human code, Fleck said. He pointed to the spiral. Thousands of years ago, humans were off limits, too chaotic, too emotional. The worms didn't bond with them. Until now. Eli frowned. So why me? Because your DNA is different, Fleck said. You were part of a secret program. Your mother was injected with worm sequence tech while pregnant. You are the key. Eli froze. That's not possible. My mom was a nurse. She hated needles. Zarn looked at him. Do you remember? Your childhood, clearly. Eli opened his mouth, then closed it. Flashes hit him, dreams that felt too real. Bright lights, tubes, a cold room. People speaking in alien voices. Fleck continued. Someone on Earth has been preparing humans, testing which ones can hold the worm without dying. Zarn asked. So Eli's a weapon? No, Fleck said. He's a bridge between two species. Suddenly, alarms rang through the lab. The screen showed red lights flashing in nearby tunnels. Worm tracker drones inbound, a voice said. They've found the lab. Zarn pulled out his blaster. How? This place is off-grid. Fleck sighed. It's never off-grid when someone leaks worm energy like a walking power plant. Eli's stomach glowed brighter. The worm was waking up again. Okay, Eli said. What do we do? Fleck handed him a small device. This is a neural stabilizer. Stick it to your neck. It'll help you control the worm for a few minutes. For a few minutes, Eli shouted. Better than zero. Outside, the drones dropped from the sky metal spiders with glowing eyes and razor legs. Zarn fired. Fleck ducked behind a console. Eli stood in the center of the chaos, holding the stabilizer. The worm spoke in his mind for the first time clearly. You are not ready, but I will help. Eli slammed the device to his neck. His eyes glowed gold. The ground cracked beneath him. The baby Shai-Hulud let out a soundless roar. Asterisk, it didn't even give him shoes. Eli stood barefoot on the hot red sand, hands chained behind his back, surrounded by 20,000 screaming aliens. Above him, metal towers rose like jagged teeth. Lights flashed. Smoke hissed from vents. Alien drones floated in the air, filming everything. He was on live broadcast galactic level. A booming voice echoed across the arena, presenting the human host of the royal worm, the boy with fire in his belly and death in his shorts, Eli the Earthling. The crowd laughed, booed, threw slime balls at him. Eli squinted up at the announcer box. A tall alien with 6 horns raised his hands. Today, the announcer roared, he faces the champion of the 9th Sand World, Kroth the Crusher. A gate slammed open. Came a 12-foot-tall beast made of armor, tusks, and rage. It had 3 mouths. None of them looked friendly. Eli whispered to himself, I just wanted to make coffee. Why am I in an alien death game? The worm inside him stirred. You live, I live. You die, I digest. 2 days earlier, Eli had tried to escape with Zarn and Dr. Fleck. They almost made it, but a wormlord ship intercepted them. The Lord wore black armor and a crown of bone. You will entertain the Empire, he told Eli, or be sliced open like a melon and harvested. Eli had no choice. Now here he was, barefoot, nervous, glowing slightly. And seconds away from becoming alien stew, back in the arena, Kroth charged. The sand shook under each step. Eli turned to run. The chain around his hands yanked him back. He fell face first. The crowd roared with laughter. Kroth raised a giant club and brought it down. Crack! Dust flew. Silence. When it cleared, Eli was standing, arms unchained. Surrounded by a golden force field, the worm had protected him. You are not prey, the worm said. You are chosen. Kroth blinked. For the first time, he looked nervous. Eli didn't know what he was doing. He just focused on not dying. Suddenly, his hands lit up. Gold threads of light wrapped around. His arms like armor. He raised them without thinking. Kroth charged again. This time, Eli met him with a punch. Boom. The crowd went silent. The punch launched Kroth across the arena. He hit a pillar and slumped to the ground. Eli stared at his glowing fist. Okay, that's new. The announcer stammered. A surprise move. The human has powers. Zarn watched from the shadows of the arena stands, wearing a stolen janitor uniform. Look at the kid, he muttered. Didn't even break a sweat. Dr. Fleck whispered through Zarn's comm. The worm is evolving, sinking faster than expected. Another gate opened. This time, 3 gladiators came out, claws, blades, one had no face. Eli sighed. I guess there's no break time here. You are capable of more, the worm said. Let me guide you. Eli felt his body shift just a little. His skin shimmered, tougher now. His reflexes sharpened. Time felt slower. They charged. He dodged. He flipped. He fought back. Each move felt natural, like he had trained his whole life. One by one, they fell. The crowd was no longer laughing. Now, they were cheering. After the match, Eli was dragged to a prison cell below the arena. His body was sore. His mind was racing. He looked at his reflection in a cracked mirror. His eyes weren't just brown anymore. There was gold in them. Faint, but glowing. You are changing, the worm said. Not just body. Soul. Eli leaned against the wall. I didn't ask for this. The worm replied, neither did I, but together, we survive. A moment passed. Then a whisper came through the vent. Pissed. Eli, it's Zarn. We've got a plan. Eli had a dream. He was back on Earth. It was raining. He stood outside a small cafe, the one he used to work at. The bell above the door chimed softly. His mom was there. She smiled, warm and real. Come home, Eli, she said. But behind her, the sky cracked open. A worm-shaped shadow fell over the city. Skyscrapers bent. People screamed. The clouds turned gold. And something deep inside, Eli said, You brought this. Eli woke up, gasping. The prison cell was dark. The air was thick with metal and oil. His hands were shaking. His back hurt. The worm inside him pulsed calm, but awake. You saw it, the worm whispered. Our memory, our future. No, Eli said. That wasn't just your memory. That was Earth. Elsewhere, in the Worm Lord's throne chamber, a massive screen showed footage of Eli's fight in the arena. One lord turned to another. He's stabilizing too fast. The human is adapting. The older lord nodded. Then we must act soon, while he still doubts himself. They activated a satellite image Earth. Target locked back in the shadows of the arena's lower levels. Zarn and Dr. Fleck led Eli through a secret tunnel. You were incredible out there, Zarn said, his fists glowing, jumping like a skater. Lizard boom, bam, victory. I didn't feel incredible, Eli replied. I felt like I wasn't fully me. Fleck handed him a small device. That's because you're becoming more than you. This worm, it's rewriting your instincts. Then take it out. Fleck's face dropped. It's too late for that. Eli stopped walking. What do you mean? You're not just the host anymore, Fleck said. You're the merge point. The first true hybrid. They entered a hidden room. Screens, maps, oldtech.zarn tapped a button. A 3D hologram of Earth appeared zooming in on New York, Tokyo, Cape Town. There, planning an invasion, Zarn said. The Wormlords want to plant worms in powerful humans, world leaders, military minds. And they'll use me to open the path, Eli whispered. Because I'm the key. Fleck nodded. And because you're proof it can work. The worms stirred in his chest again. You can stop them. Eli clenched his fists. I don't. Want to be a weapon? Then be a shield. Soonly alarms. Security breach, a voice said. Unknown energy surge detected. Fleck looked at the screens. They found the lab. We have 2 minutes. Zarn handed Eli a strange suit, half fabric, half organic. It shimmered faintly. This will help focus your link with the worm, Zarn said. Think of it like battle pajamas. Eli slipped. It fit perfectly. Too perfectly. It's alive, Eli said. Technically, yes, Fleck replied. Don't worry, it likes you. As soldiers stormed the tunnel, Eli stepped forward. His body lit up gold veins across his skin. Eyes glowing, voice steady. He wasn't running anymore. He was ready to fight, and this time, he wasn't alone. Asterisk, there was no ground beneath Eli's feet, only sky. Dark, endless alien sky. He floated eyes as lances pended in glowing light. His arms were stretched wide, and around him, dust moved like stars. He couldn't feel his body anymore. Just energy. Power, and something inside him was whispering in. Two voices. You were born small, but you were made for more. Flash. Eli woke up screaming, the worm armor glowing across his chest. Zarn and Fleck stared at him from the front seat of the stolen ship. We're landing in 40 seconds, Zarn yelled. Get your brain in gear. Eli sat up fast. I saw something. I think the worm is showing me pieces of what I could become. Useful. Visions? Fleck asked. No, Eli said. Terrifying. The ship blasted through the clouds of Vakar Prime, the fortress planet of the Wormlords. Black towers. Lava rivers. Sky full of drones. Eli stared out the window. This place looks like someone built hell and gave it a tech upgrade. Zarn grinned. That's the spirit. Let's burn it down. As the ship descended, Fleck injected Eli with a stabilizer. This will help the worm sink without eating your brain, he said casually. Wait, WHAT? Eli asked. Nothing. Just breathe. They landed near an old access tunnel beneath the main control tower. Inside, Eli moved like something. Between a soldier and a storm. The worm armor shifted with his thoughts now. Light wrapped around his arms. His senses reached out like sonar. I can hear. Heartbeats. Good, Zarn said. Because we're surrounded. Suddenly, ambush. Soldiers poured from every direction. Alien weapons charged. Drones buzzed. Overhead, Eli stepped forward. Let me fight, the worm said. Eli nodded, and then he let go. What happened next? Wasn't human. He moved faster than bullets. Energy blasts curved around him like wind. He punched the ground and cracked steel.carn. Blinked. That's not Eli anymore. Fleck corrected him. That's Eli fully unlocked. But deep inside, something began to shift. The more Eli fought, the more the worm took control. Its voice grew louder. We are one. We are not weak. Eli felt himself slipping like his mind was a passenger now, not the driver. He reached the Wormlord's core chamber. A massive throne stood in the middle. The High Lord rose tall. Armored, a being older than most galaxies. You should not exist. He said, I didn't ask to, Eli replied. You were made in secret. A weapon without a leash. I'm not a weapon, Eli growled. But the worm laughed in his head. Aren't you? The final fight began. Blades, worm energy. Gravity torn apart. Eli fought harder than ever, but inside, he was at war with himself. Every punch made him stronger and less human, until he stood over the High Lord's fallen body. The worm screamed for the killing blow. Do it. Finish it. Become what you were made to be. Eli raised his hand, but then he saw a reflection in the cracked metal, his face, his mother's smile. Earth. He dropped his arm. No, he whispered. I choose who I become. And just like that, he took control back. The worm quieted. Not gone. Not angry. But listening, for the first time. It followed him. Not the other way around. Zar and Fleck ran in, blinking at the destruction. Zar. What happened? Eli turned. Golden eyes, calm voice, steady. I didn't win with power. I won with choice. There was silence in the galaxy. No war cries, no energy blasts, no more screaming across the stars. Just silence, and the sound of one human breathing. Eli stood alone at the top of the Worm Lord's broken throne tower. Wind howled through the ruins. The stars above shimmered like they were watching him. Below, millions of beings were waiting. Rebels, slaves, soldiers, traitors, drones, even worm-dash creatures, all waiting for a sign. He held up, his hand glowing gold. Still warm from the fight hand, dropped the crown of the last. Wormlord, it hit the ground with a clink, and the crowd erupted. Across the systems, worm sigils were torn down. Rebel signals lit up in every sector. A new era had begun. Not ruled by fear, not by worms, but by the impossible truth. A human had survived a merge, and one, back on the rebel ship. Zarn was recording a voice note to someone. Well, Mom, your little Zarn didn't explode. Not yet. Also, I accidentally helped start a revolution. But don't worry, only stole 3 ships this time. He looked over at Eli, who was floating mid-air in meditation, surrounded by glowing runes. Kids? Still weird, Zarn muttered. But weird in a useful way. In the medbay, Dr. Fleck was busy typing logs. Subject Eli shows full control of the worm entity. Phase 6 complete. Psychological stability. Questionable. Humor levels. Dangerously high. But Eli wasn't thinking about the worm, or his powers, or the galaxy he just changed. He was thinking about home. 2 weeks later, a worm ship entered Earth's orbit cloaked. Silent. Eli stood at the window. He saw oceans, cities, clouds, and somewhere down there was the cafe where he used to work. He smiled. Earth, he whispered. You have no idea what I've been through. The worm spoke softly in his head. Are we home? Eli paused, then smiled again. No, but we're closer. He landed quietly. No explosions, no crowds, just a hoodie, some jeans, and sunglasses hiding his golden eyes. The street was just as he remembered it. Trash, music, dogs barking, smell of fried food. He walked into the cafe. The barista looked up. Can I help? Why wait, Eli? He grinned. I'll take a large black coffee, and maybe a job again. You're kidding. You were gone for months. You look like you've seen aliens. Eli chuckled. Something like that? Behind him, the mini Shai-Hulad wriggled inside, content and quiet. Outside, a small alien child watched from a rooftop, holding a scanner. Found him, she whispered into a communicator. The human host is back on Earth. The signal went deep into space, and far away, in a cold, dark place, something old opened one eye. But for now, the galaxy rests, and somewhere, a human and a worm share a coffee. Not enemies, not monsters, just 2 survivors. Trying to live together via Altana, the alien landlady, shows up at the cafe door. She spots Eli. Her scanner beeps. Her eyes widen. You still have that mini Shai-Hulad between your legs? Eli nearly spits out his coffee. Ma'am, it has a name now.